So something's a little different. The table's cleaned off at the moment. And that's because we have the module up on its own legs. I still need to do a little bit of work, mainly back here. I need to go through with I think it's a 1/2 inch. Yep, a 1/2 inch drill bit and kind of countersink into here. That way the carriage bolt will go and be flush with the fascia. But overall, it's getting there. I'm going to take the legs back off of it so that I can not have it worrying about moving while I'm doing the soldering and getting the feeders in. So that's where we're at for now. I don't know how much further I'll get for the next little bit, at least on the module proper. I'm planning to be heading out of town for a bit, and I'm going to take some stuff to work on it, mainly the backdrop and getting it painted up. So we'll see how much I get done in the next little bit, but I need to start focusing on that part of what I need to do. So anyway, we'll leave it there and be back with another update. All right, I'm back from vacation for the week and have some stuff done that's not on the module, but for sake of easiness, I'll show what I have done on the module. And so far, it's just getting the feeders ran through. It was a lot easier to have the module tipped up on its side, get everything put in. I did drill the holes with it flat like it is right now, but then flipped it up to feed the wires up through. So I'm wanting to get this done tonight, at least the feeders attached. So that's my goal for there. But then let me grab some of the other stuff that I have done, and I'll be right back. All right, for the things that I got done while I was on vacation, the night before, I glued this mountain piece, or the cutout, and then painted to look like a mountain. I glued that onto this plywood. It's just I think it's 1/8 of an inch. I did it for two reasons. One, it already looked like a mountain, and two, it would add and give some stability to the plywood so that when it was put up, it would look good and give a little bit of stability. So I got that painted, and then I went through and added a little bit of styrene to the base of the oil pumps just to give me some area that I can do some scenery on. I may cut it down. I don't know. This oil pump was one that was giving me some issues from the beginning. The piece that's right here that holds the head on, the mold was a little wonky on it, and I ended up having to do a modification to get it to stay on, and then I had to modify it again to keep my modification from coming undone, which was just a piece of wire that I put through it. So that's why there's that piece of styrene. But I got the fencing put around both of them. I did not use the poles that they say to use in the instructions. I used the pieces that were just all plastic. I did have to glue a couple of them together that had snapped from just transportation because of the way they were molded onto the sprues. But overall, it looks good, and you're going to need to be minimum 3 to 4 feet away, so it'll look fine. The other thing that I had hoped to have done is have both of these wired up, working, and the heads moving. Unfortunately, the only thing that stood in the way was the gears that I had 3D printed. I had the code on the servo, or the coating done up and put onto the Arduino, the servo connected up, and the gears that I had didn't have this little extrusion that I've put on there. And unfortunately, that meant that they weren't exactly centered on the gear or the servo head. And so one time the servo would be up and binding, or the gear would be up binding on the other gears. The other time it would be down just enough that it was turning, and it wasn't being consistent. So while I was on vacation, I got onto Thingiverse, found someone that had designed a servo mount piece and the gear that I was using, and sliced those and put them together in Tinkercad, and 3D printed these off as soon as I got home today. So hopefully they'll be square and good to go. And then I did glue this other styrene piece to the bottom of it so that I can just glue the servo, hot glue the servo, and it should be the proper distance for the gears. So unfortunately that had to kind of wait. It's probably going to take a back seat, just in case if I'm not able to get it done. I can just set the oil pumps on the sides of the module, kind of here and then over here somewhere, and it'll look good. It'll let people see what I'm planning to do, and kind of go from there. See, today is Saturday night and the show starts Friday morning, or at least heading up to Evanston Friday morning to get this going. So have a little bit to do. I also have our club command center that has the Raspberry Pi in it that we use for JMRI, our Wi-Fi router, and then our command station. I'm adding a booster to it. We're going to be the biggest we've been at a show, and a lot of us felt that we need to have that second booster going. So I've got to get that done up tomorrow. I want to get, like I said in the last clip, I want to get the feeder wires soldered on to the track. Not necessarily have the bus wire ran, but at least get the feeders done. That way I can get this done up and get this hidden and all scenic. And while that's drying and ready to go, I can work on the the command box and the oil pumps and just kind of the little bit of scenery that I can. I don't know if I've said it yet in previous videos. I'm not going to ballast the track yet, mainly so that if I've got to pull it up and adjust it just a little bit, I just need to spritz some glue on there, move it, let it dry, and be good, and not worry about scraping up ballast as well. So that's where we're at. I'm hoping to have a lot of this done tomorrow, Sunday. That way it's just drying for the most part, and come Monday, Tuesday, I can get it painted and be, satisfied with it. So that's where we're at, and we'll update everybody when I get some more done.